I'm Coach Mickey, and I'm so glad that you've joined us. And if this is your first time joining me, come on in and make yourself comfortable. Grab your favorite beverage. As you guys know, I have something to drink while we are having a conversation with some of my amazing guests. And I'm really excited because today we're going to celebrate the holidays. As you guys can see from my background, we're just going to jump right in, and it's that time of year. However, my guest this time is someone who is going to give you some amazing tips on not just how to have a great holiday, but how to have a badass holiday. So I'm excited to have you, Jodie Moncrief. So thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I love the fact when you told me the topic that you wanted to discuss, I'm like, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So I'm just gonna let you take it away. How can we have a badass holiday?
Well, first of all, keeping everything in perspective that every single day we've got so much going on, right? Just, between emails and the errands we're running and our work and just everything. So add on to that during the holidays, baking, sending cards, hosting parties, going to parties, gift giving, deciding who to invite to parties, which parties to go to, traditions, expectations, and decorating, and so much more. So my whole idea here is to kind of think about things and not be on autopilot, because I see so many people. This is why I'm doing this. I see so many people that get stressed out during the holidays, and they're stressing out over things they typically like to do, and they either short on budget, so that's stressing them out, or they're short on time and that's stressing them out, or both. And it's a time to enjoy, and every holiday shouldn't be, well, I shouldn't say shouldn't be, but if you're stressed out, take a look at this and
That is
see,
true. That
are
is
you
true.
on autopilot? Are you doing things that you can't really afford to do? Or you really don't have the time, but you're just, I have to do this. I have to do this. I do it every year. I do it every year. And I'll give you an example. This is why I started this whole thing. I have a girlfriend, and she bakes and she bakes and she bakes five or six different beautiful things, right? The magic bars, the fudge, you name it. She bakes it. So I remember her being so stressed out during the holidays, and I'm saying, why are you stressing yourself out to bake when you love to bake? Apparently you don't have the time. And I didn't know if she had the budget either. And she said, just people expect it from me and I've got to do it.
Mm.
No, no. A badass does not feel obligated to do things. Make an adjustment and maybe only bake two or three things, or half of the amount of the 5 items, something like that. But you're stressing out because you have to bake. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. And then the biggest one is gift giving. Gift giving can be such a stressful thing if we let it. Now, we don't need, first of all, I want to say a badass doesn't feel like she has to give everybody a gift that gives her a gift. That's okay. If somebody gives you a gift and you don't have a gift for them, when you're scaling down your list, because a lot of people, especially with inflation and everything nowadays, they're cutting their list in half, or they're just really scaling back. And so I think that's really important, not to make yourself crazy and stressed out over money because you have so many gifts to buy. And I have some ideas about that. One is, this is what I've been doing with some friends of mine, is I say, you know what, let's not do gifts, especially if you've been friends for so long and you've bought gifts and you try to figure out what to get. I said, let's just go have dinner or lunch, forget the gifts. There's other things to do. Limit the amount. $20. I'm telling you, Mickey, two of my favorite gifts that I've ever gotten for Christmas were two things that were under $20, and they were both from Costco. One of them were these cute little bowls that are bright colored on the outside and have patterns on the inside. I swear they were probably $12. I love them. So it's not about how much we spend, it's the thought we put into it. And the other thing from Costco was a robe that I think it's Carol Hockman, I want to say the brand is, the most plush robe from Costco, $20. At least last year, these were the prices. And I just think we don't have to break the bank, you know? I know I love the idea that you've shared with me. If you can share that now with the Nerf, doing something fun during the holidays with the Nerf guns.
Yeah, we have a tradition, no, that's the other thing too, is everybody has expectations of traditions, and ours is just a little unconventional because every year, um, who's ever guests at our house, and obviously with my kids, we've done it over the years, and we still do it to this day, even though he's in college and the other one's halfway across the country, or is across country. Uh, I give everybody a Nerf gun, and I put the Nerf gun cushion little bullets that are in their stockings. And after we've opened gifts and we've done breakfast, we have a full-on Nerf gun fight in the house, and it's fun. And we do. I've had friends that have come over for dinner, or even stop by, join in, and it's just one of the really fun things that we do. For Christmas is
I think that's
Nerf gun
great.
fight.
I love and appreciate unconventional. I truly do. So here's another one. I've had groups of girlfriends where we've said, okay, let's just do something again, me and my $20. Let's find something under $20 that is a favorite of ours. It can be anything. It can be a beauty tip. It could be the cool makeup sponge. It could be a really nice brush that you use for your eyebrows or your blush. It could be anything. I think I'm just trying to think of the different things, but personal and just really fun. So you go to the group and you just there's a group of 5 of them, you bring 4 of them wrapped up for everybody, and everybody walks home with 5 items that's all our favorites. Now, that's another one. And then the obvious one is but it could be too obvious because you have a group of friends and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to buy, gotta. A badass doesn't gotta. A badass says, you know what? There's other ways to do this. And one of them is just picking a name and just buying a gift for one person. And then there, of course, is the white elephant exchange. But the biggest thing I can say about gift giving, other than what I just said, is it's okay to regift. Just remember who gave it to you. Okay. And then the other thing in this whole category is hostess gifts. You go to someone's house, you bring them a gift. It can be a dollar store gift. It doesn't have to be, again, anything fancy. And one thing I learned recently is that it's not, and this is according to the etiquette, which I don't normally go by, but in the etiquette way of doing things, the correct way, you don't bring someone cut flowers that come in those big, beautiful bouquets, because the hostess has to stop and get a vase and put the water in and arrange it, in the middle of her doing her hosting. And it's better to have something that's already pre-made that you can just give in a vase. And it can be from your garden. I went in my garden. I don't have that much. I put some little flowers, and I have bird of paradise, and then I added some rosemary. It's free. Right? And then you've got a vase at home, or you buy inexpensive ones. But that is the best. The other is for a hostess gift. And then the best hostess gifts, I think, are the practical ones. The holiday towels, or you can never have enough candles, right? But you have to know the scent if they are offended by a certain scent. But holiday scents are usually, you know, they generally people like those. But the gifts are, just don't get stressed out and feel like you have to spend all this money. That's a badass doesn't feel like that they have to spend all the money. So the next category is parties. Parties. So some people have a lot of parties they have to go to. A badass doesn't feel obligated. Sometimes you have to because of work obligations and work parties, but you can get around spending the whole time there. You just come and spend a short amount of time and leave if it's something you despise, right? I used to have, my husband used to have work parties, and oh my gosh, if I was smarter then, like I am now, and a badass, I'd be saying, we'll go there for an hour and then we'll leave and, whatever. But we don't have to make excuses. A badass does not make excuses. If you want to say no and not feel guilty. We don't need to feel guilty. A badass does not feel guilty. And then there's the people that you invite. If you're hosting a party and, we all want to be inclusive, but you know what? Just invite the people that you want to have. And the other thing about hosting, I used to get so stressed out and, really just run around like a chicken with my head cut off. And my one friend said recently, she said, put the emphasis on the people, not trying to make it look, your house look perfect. We all go to each other's homes when we're entertaining, and we all think that their house looks like that every day. So we feel like we have to keep up with that. And I just learned recently that there's something called scruffy entertaining. And it's really interesting. You got to look it up, about basically what I just said. We don't have to be perfect. And, the people that wrote the article had some housework going on, and they're saying, we could always say, oh, we want so-and-so to come over when this is done in the house and when that's done in the house. And then we never do it because we don't have a perfect house. Just enjoy the holidays and your friends, because that's what it's all about. So the other one is decorating. So decorating, maybe you go all out like the Griswolds here in the lights, and maybe you are stressing yourself out because you don't have time to put 10,999 lights up this year. A badass gives herself a break and says, you know what, I'm just going to do part of this, or I'm going to do it a little at a time, or I might not do it at all this year. But the idea is a badass knows what is in their realm that will not stress them out. So the other part, other than decorating, this one's really important. This has to do with a lot of different areas. Remember Uncle Eddie in Christmas Vacation with Chubby Chase? He needed to get some boundaries. Somebody needed to set some boundaries with him. He was all over the place. Remember, he gave the list of all the things that his family needed and he needed. And he was pushing the boundaries. And we all have, maybe we all don't, but some of us have Uncle Eddies in our lives, whether they're neighbors, their friends, their family, and they just push and push. And a badass sets boundaries and keeps them, does not feel guilty. And so get your Uncle Eddies in line. A badass, does that. So the other thing is your guests, asking them or letting them know your expectations, when they come to your house for a party. whatever your expectations are. So they can know ahead of time whether it's you're going to play a game, so they know. Make sure to, when you have a party, to introduce different people. And the best thing at a party is to have something that is an activity. I'm not a fan of white elephant, but I'm a fan of how they do it, how it's done. I think that's why it's so popular, because everybody has so much fun and everybody's engaging with everyone, instead of you've got 3 people over here, 4 people, the neighbors are over here, your work people are over here, your other friends are over here. And so that whatever activity it is, I would highly recommend having some type of an activity. And again, the white elephant is just a blast. And I mean, I have people talking about gifts that they've gotten and fought over, for years. They've had so much fun. So it's very memorable. And again, just let your guests know your expectations. The other, I think this is the last thing, is sending cards. Do you send cards, Mickey? It's not your thing?
Not so much anymore. I'll do the e-cards.
Yeah.
I do more. If I think about it, I'll go online and just do e-cards, but not send them out physically.
Right. So that's another thing. People stress. I've got a list of, not me, I've known people to have a list of, 1 or 200 people, and they send a card, dog damn it, every year, and we've got to do it. And they're stressing themselves out. And I mean, there are ways, I'm not sure, it's going to sound like I work for Costco, but I swear I don't. But remember, Costco used to have, I don't know if they do or not, but the photo department, and you could just pop a photo in, order them, go pick them up, and, put them in envelopes, and people would pre-address them, in the labels that you print out, and, make it really simple, but don't stress yourself out. I love sending cards. I'm kind of a freak. I will spend a lot of time finding the right card with the right vibe on it. And I send them out, and I just address them like 5 at a time, during the night when I'm watching TV, and I don't stress myself out. And if there's a time ever that it's going to be stressful for me, I won't do it, because it's something fun. And it's ridiculous to think, oh, I'm going to stress myself out to do something fun, something that I really want to do, for people. So and I think the last is the traditions and expectations. So traditions are, if it doesn't make sense this year, and I can't give an example right now because my head just went blank, but if there's something that's a tradition that doesn't make sense, don't do it anymore. Start new ones. And really, it's a time to just enjoy friends and family, and we need to lower our expectations. Badasses don't have gigantic expectations, because when we do, we know what happens. And that is that we are disappointed. And if we don't have these gigantic, expectations, then we'll have an enjoyable time. And that's what I have to say about being a badass holiday. And I don't know if I missed anything.
No, I
Did I?
think you got it all. I mean, that is pretty detailed, and I think that's what we all go through. We go through these moments of, who are we going to invite? Where are we going to go? What are we going to get? How am I going to do this? And when you, like you said, when you take the stress off of you, then it makes the holidays so much more enjoyable. If I may, I'd like to add in on your white elephant on what I do for a white elephant that made it a little bit more fun. We do an ugly Christmas ornament. I tell everybody, no more than $5, and find the ugliest Christmas ornament that you can find, you can get. And I had one year where, and I think you were actually at that party, and we had one year, somebody had brought this pink skull. It was a, it's a skull, and it was pink, and that thing was fought over the most. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah.
But I like things that are, you could take something that's ordinary and just put a twist on it, to, like you said, to make it more
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
And you were
Oh,
saying,
Sorry about that.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I was done.
Oh, I thought of a couple extra things that are free, and I think they're really cool. One is an activity that you can do for kids. You know, you're getting tired, the kids, you're getting challenged on what to do with the kids, maybe especially if they're teenagers. And I read somewhere, and you can look it up online, Google it, that they do scavenger hunts and just really get creative. And it's free. There's nothing, to do except, maybe writing some things down or typing it or whatever. But I thought that was a good one. And then I have a girlfriend that her family, they collect jackets, coats, jackets, sweaters. Every holiday, they collect them, and they know to go to their house and drop them off to the garage, and they deliver them to the homeless. And I thought that is really, so those are things that you can do that are free with your family or free to help someone. And yes, I just think it's important to not be on autopilot. Ask yourself, am I breaking the bank? Is that stressing me out? Do I really want to do this? That's how to have a badass holiday.
Well, I love it. And I am so glad that you had an opportunity to stop by and share that. So, how can people reach out to you, Jodi? Because besides doing the holidays, you have got quite a few other events that are coming up that people can definitely benefit from.
Yes. My program right now that I'm working with is aligning with your badass self. Shocker. And how to reach me is my website, and that is transformyourlifeoc.com. Transformyourlifeoc.com. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. And as you guys know, all of the links will be embedded into the YouTube channel down here. So please look for those. And then also, if you're new, please remember to oh, actually, this over here, subscribe. Kind of new to this thing too. And please reach out to Jodi. She has got some amazing events that I know you can all benefit from. She has a keynote speaker. She is getting ready to author a book. And also she has done many, many events that I know everybody that I've ever spoke to has had some major benefits from. So I am looking forward to having you back again, Jodi, and seeing what you got coming up for the new year. So thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
and have a happy holiday.
Happy
Have a badass
holidays, a
holiday.
badass holiday.
I love it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. And remember, the most courageous thing you can be is yourself. And I will look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.